Hello, everybody, and welcome to Total Annihilation Replays. Today, I'm bringing you Game 7 of Postal versus Aprox Best of 10, and we are on Aprox's pick. The series currently stands at 3-3. We are all tied up. Now, at this point, in order for Aprox's trash talk to remain true, he has to sweep the remainder of the games here. Otherwise, it will be... his poll won't work out because remember he said the worst case scenario for him was that he was going to win 7-3, and at 3-3 right now I just need to take one game from him to be able to beat that. So not only does he have to win on his picks, he has to win on mine, and I still have an ace up my sleeve. But before we get to that point, we have to, well, play on his pick. And I was hoping, that he would pick into me. And really, the big opportunity for me, the big miss, was John's Pond, because that's one of the ones where I was strong that he picked into me. But here, he picked a map that I am really bad at, and this is Flasheller. As the name suggests, the idea here is that this is to become a hell full of flashes. Over here, you can see he's got these little mountains right here that block slasher missiles. Resources are fairly spaced apart, meaning it's actually difficult to get your cons from A to B. It makes them very vulnerable to flash rating. And there are rocks everywhere too, so it's kind of easy to see where the cons are because you got to go and get them. Now, I've played this a few times. I am just not very good at it, and also Core in general isn't very good at it. When he picked the map, he said it's a Flasheller, and I said it is Gator-Eller, as in I'm going to build a lot of instigators. And unlike the newer mods, which did their best to really balance the flash and the instigator simply just isn't as good. It's slower, it does less damage than the flash, and they don't work as well in packs. So there's a lot I have going against me here, but it doesn't mean it's impossible for me to win. I say whenever I try to play this map, I try ARM, because I know that it's our map, and I said it always ends in failure. So now here I am playing it as Core, which is I'm much more comfortable with. Aprox says that's nice. So I've got 3 mechs, 4 win start. He's got 3-3 start. I say Core will have the same result, no doubt. He said this isn't Flash Herald at all. This is a perfect map for Core. That's RVD using the F11 macro to chime in. Start out with Weasels. I actually think that that's something that is definitely good to do here. He says there's only 1 or 2 feasible points to attack. Yes, 1, 2. It's not a Flash all over map. All right, thank you, RVD. Aprox knows I like to build lots of Weasels, so he is starting out with missile towers to guard the base here. But really my goal, if I remember right here, my goal with the Weasels is I'm going to try and control the rocks. So he's got 1 con out, I have 0. I'm stalling on energy at this point, so I go to bring up another win. So he's got 2 cons to my 1. The other thing is the arm con is faster than the core con as well, so he has an easier time getting to and from the rocks. They accelerate faster, so it's a lot easier for them to get out of trouble, easier for them to nanoblock. There's just a lot of things that the arm con has going for it here that the core one does not. I built some missile towers of my own, and I'm stalling on energy while working on both those things. Definitely not good. His 3rd con is out. I'm coming in with the 2 Weasels here to try and tag something. I probably could have gotten that max. And instead I drop all the Weasels, coming in for absolutely nothing. The only real opportunity I had here was this con, but that did not play out. So now I have got 2 cons and 3 slashers. Aprox has got 4 cons, so he's basically got me doubled on the build power here, and he's putting out flashes. So I'm going to have to try and outbuild him with 2 cons without raiding him and defending them since I'm going slashers. Really just not a good call. Pushing out more Weasels here. One of the things Tiptushi commented is that he says it's very interesting to actually see this series because a lot of the games that I cast, of course, are these really close nail biters, but those were like 10 maybe 20% of the games. A lot of the times it just ends up with one player getting the advantage on another one and then closing it out. So I'm taking advantage of Weasels for the rating. I definitely want to keep him on his toes. Not good use right here, but I do manage to take that flash down without too much trouble. So I've got radar that I'm basically just trying to creep towards him. I'll explain what I'm doing here. This is one of the ways to just kind of be aggressive. It got nice by Aprox there using the Jeffies like that. Is I am building this radar with a single con, having the second con follow up and pick up the resources on this line. So these slashers are basically always protecting my line of construction, the slashers as they're coming from the factory. So I can kind of keep going and build up a slasher ball so I can try and be aggressive with it and get him to use his flashes against the attack point where I want him to. Fortunately, this flash comes in the back here. I do manage to pick it up with the D-gun. It does have to pull my commander up. So you can see I've got a nice, decent slasher ball, and my radar is creeping closer and closer to his forces. So you can see he's raiding, but he's not finding anything because everything is here. He does unfortunately get that metal extractor. He's not going to get much. Although actually he might because this mound is blocking. Yep. So I got to bring my commander up. I'm lasering and not doing anything. You know, he's attacking this con. If I lose this con, it is over. And I am too busy up north with my commander. And so the con goes down, and I am now, that's pretty much it. I say, crapo, that's basically my assault con. So now he's actually able to attack and push the slashers back. As you can see, he's just expanding. He's basically unmolested. He's got his con in the corner here. I don't have any radar now, so now I can basically no longer move forward. This is a nice wreck field. Yeah, RVD. Aprox tells him just to be quiet. He says it's over, which it is. I say it was over when it started. So this is basically what I want to do, is be able to pick off flashes. You see, this is again where the terrain comes into play. This map just favors them. If you want to see how bad I'm getting beat here, Aprox 8,000 metal. I've killed 0 of his construction units. And now, the reason why you're like, oh, why didn't you keep shooting that con? I don't have line of sight there. I had no idea what I was shooting. Now, so I do have this wreck field right here. Continually taking out flashes. Lovely idle con here that will most likely, we'll see if it survives the encounter. I believe it will, yep it does. There's a little bit of metal for me to pick up. And I've got this wreck field, which is actually nice. So now, even though I have absolutely no mexes, I'm still able to be somewhat aggressive with my slasher ball. I have 1 con, 2 cons, to him who has the entire map. Now he's coming from all directions. This will certainly force me back, maybe even nab the con. it's just not enough to deal with the multi-directional attack. He gets the radar, that of course will slow me down even if he doesn't get the con. But he does, because my slashers shoot it. And I say, ugh. See, the other thing he's doing is he's building his missile towers up. That'll help slow down the slasher ball there. And really, I just need some storms to break through. But with absolutely nothing on my side, there's really not much for me to do here. So, 4 factories from Aprox over here. Let's see, he's just been slowly building, coming in and clean things up. Just completely undefended on this north side here. Part of the reason why I said Gator Heller was a bit of a bluff, to basically have him think that there's going to be a whole bunch of instigators coming in when really I was just going to slasher ball. And this is one of the first times I think I've actually tried this on this map. Before, because I've done this on other maps, the cold place particularly, where you're just really aggressive with slashers. But you can see the train's even coming to play here and trying to take down this missile tower. Big flashes, set up the flashes coming in. I don't have radar up here yet, so I don't see this. See how well the slashers, you can see just by my kills to losses, how well the slashers are just taking out the flashes. But it doesn't matter, he can afford to lose 2 to 1. Trying to avoid degunning things that are almost going to die because I definitely need that metal desperately. So I intend to eat the metal. Don't get this con out of the way in the time and he spots it. A pretty big slasher group again up here. I finally get one of his construction units. 15 minutes into the game, that's been lost. Bit of lag. And now he switched to Samson's, so that'll basically seal the deal for me. And what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to push in, find his factories, maybe find his comm, and get a lucky. Because sometimes people will see a ball like that, they'll have their attackers over here, so they'll bring their comm out to try and degun, and then slashers are pretty good at picking up comms, especially if you pay attention to what's going on. But that basically, that ends my slasher ball, gives him a ton of wreck. And I said if I hadn't lost that first con, and of course there's more to it than that. So I go ahead and I surrender, and that ends the game. Series goes 4-3 to Aprox, so he does what he needs to do to try and maintain his pride here, and he picks up a win on his map choice of Flasheller. So I think that might be the first time we've actually casted this map. There are some excellent games on Flasheller out there, so I will probably try and pick up some of those, but as you can expect, it's back and forth flashes the entire time. The map, I believe, is from Abe's map pack, so it was made by Abe himself, so props to him on making what is a pretty basic, but pretty good map overall. So here you go, you can see the final stats. You can say Aprox more than doubling me on metal. It didn't really matter that even I was outdoing him on kill death in the middle there, because I just simply didn't have the production to back it up. So hope you all enjoyed that one. I will be back with game 8, which will be my pick. Yeah, game 8, 9, 10. We got 3 games left here. So, and if I pick up the win on game 8, then that means that the poll will then be invalid, and I will have to see if I can do my best to push it and maybe even claim victory. So, with that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the like button as well if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you have any questions, or if you just want to comment on the video. That'd be great. Anyway, take care, everyone, and you all have a wonderful day. Okay, now, bye-bye.